Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Nicole here, and today we are gonna talk about sleep. So if that's something that you are interested in, stick around. Okay, so let's get into it. Obviously I'm a new mom, so every day is different. Every day I'm learning something new, but I just wanted to share with you 3 months in what I have found. And I want to share this because before I had a child, everybody told me that I would never sleep. The just you waiters, I can't stand that phrase. Like when I was pregnant, just you wait. Shut up. I hate that. Everyone told me that I was not going to sleep ever. They're like, once you have kids, you will never sleep again. That's not been my experience. I've actually gotten quite a bit of sleep, and my baby is now 3 months. And even when he was a newborn, it really wasn't that bad. I feel so lucky to be able to stay home with him. And it's not even like everyone's like, just sleep when the baby sleeps. And so it's not even that case during the day when he's sleeping that I'm sleeping. That's not how I'm getting my sleep. I'm getting my sleep throughout the night and the early morning. And right now I wear an Oura Ring, which actually I can share a discount code with you guys, because if you are an Oura Ring owner, they give you codes that you could share with people to get a 10% discount, which is pretty good discount for Oura Ring for how much they are. Anyways, that was a side note. Based on my Oura Ring, because it obviously tracks your sleep, I've been getting 7.5 to 8.5 hours of sleep. Yep, recently that's what I've been getting with my 3-month-old. So I want to share with you everything that we've been doing, our evolution of how things have progressed. We do a hybrid of things and it works so well. He sleeps good, I sleep good, we're both at peace. He's a calm baby. I have my mental sanity for the most part. And so I just want to share with you what I'm doing in hopes that it helps you, because it just really pisses me off. Don't get me wrong, motherhood is hard, but the way that some people talk about it, it's almost like they're trying to scare you out of it. And I'm here to bring some positivity back into it. And it's not even like they're saying toxic positivity now. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. I'm just saying it's possible to go through trials and tribulations and still love being a mom and keep your sanity and do the things to try to make it work for you. Because again, everybody's different, everyone's life looks different, but here I am, I'm going to share with you what I'm doing, and that has really it's been great. So let's get into it. First off, I want to get into the whole co-sleeping thing. Now, remember, using like a bassinet right next to the bed is still considered co-sleeping. So I want to preface that. Co-sleeping doesn't always just mean having that baby in bed with you. Co-sleeping is next to you. And so I do have a bassinet. I had it, and I'll link the one I got. It's, I think, called Halo. I'll link it below. Pretty sure it's called Halo. And I like it. It's worked great. It's not super expensive. The side folds down, like it bends down. You could also lock it to keep it in place, but the side bends down, so it goes flush to my bed just because my bed is higher. But it's easy to just like push the side down and get the baby out, which I really like. But when he was a tiny, tiny little baby, firstborn, first out of the oven, that little baby did not want to go in that bassinet. No. He did not like it. As soon as I put him down, he would just freak the F out and cry and didn't want to be in there. And I tried all the tricks, tried the swaddle, tried, they had to say like, make sure it's warm in there, make sure when you put him down, it's like a certain weight, bottom and then head, keep your hand on, keep from the side, all this stuff. No, he didn't want to be in there. So you know what I did? I looked up safe co-sleeping rules, how to safely co-sleep, and there's something called the Safe 7, which I will plug in here. It's basically a way to set up your bed and space to make sure that when you are co-sleeping with your baby in the bed with you, that it's as safe as possible. Because when you're following these rules, you're golden. Which, by the way, co-sleeping is the most primal, biological, natural thing you could do. A baby doesn't have a self-regulated nervous system, and they need you to feel safe and calm and regulated, which is why your baby sleeps the best when they're on you, because their heart literally syncs up with your heart. They're biologically programmed to need you to feel safe and comforted and calmer. So I was like, hell yeah, whatever gets us both more sleep and helps us both be regulated, let's do that. So Safe 7. Oh, and what I was gonna say is, not only is it the most natural thing, most countries welcome co-sleeping. I think it's really sad that we scare mothers out of this. We just say don't do it because something bad will happen. That is not true. So many mothers do this, and a lot of mothers don't talk about it because they're afraid of getting the backlash from it. But every mom that I've talked to co-sleeps. And a lot of people that I hear from co-sleep. But yet, it's this thing where we're making it seem like no one's doing it because it's very unsafe. When bad things happen from co-sleeping, it's because somebody's breaking a rule. You're not having a safe setup situation in your bed. Maybe the parent is smoking or drinking. There are a lot of things that could go wrong if you are not doing your due diligence. But if you're a mindful, caring parent that is setting it up for success, it's just so beautiful. Honestly, I slept better. I thought I might be scared and freak out a little bit from it. And I will say, in the first week, because I am a brand new mom, I was every second waking up are you okay? Am I okay? But the way that you sleep, it's impossible to roll onto your baby. So you have to make sure that you are sleeping this way. Is my back and my neck a little jacked up? Hell yeah. But am I sleeping? Yes. So it's a trade-off. I get chiropractic adjustment, okay? That's what's going on. So also, going into that, I co-slept, and then I found this gem. It's called the bassinet hack. And I'm gonna put in the video right now so you can check it out. This changed everything. Okay, here is that hack that I was telling you about.
Comes with a built-in hard mattress. You could use this already if you want, but that's not working for me. And it's sure as hell probably not working for you. So you're also gonna buy this lounger off Amazon. Wait a minute, I know what you're gonna say. They specifically said don't let your baby sleep in a lounger. You know what? Give me a minute, let me cook. Let me cook. Put a little puppy pee pad down, just fold it like so and put it right in the middle. Oh, but the sides are curved, they're gonna suffocate. Give me a minute! God damn it, Susan. Sorry, Lord, I didn't mean to use your name in vain. That's it with the sheet. Are you gonna plop this in there? No. See, that's where we're gonna take a break and we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna take a smaller blanket. This is literally just like a little couch blanket. It's pretty thin material. And you're just gonna fold it. Boom. You are going to place it right in the middle. You see it? You see it? Do you see it? Then you are going to take your lounger, placing it right on top of that blanket. Fix the blanket underneath so it's more in the middle. So now that middle is elevated and it's not sunken in, and the sides aren't curved. It's pretty flat. Not completely flat, but flatter. There's a gap right here and there's a gap right here. Your baby ain't gonna get up and walk and throw himself right here. I don't know how your baby would do that. You gotta call America's Got Talent, honestly. And if, God forbid, he does, Janet, you're gonna take some swaddles and you're gonna fold them like so. You see this edge? This is the edge that's gonna face up. We're literally just gonna fill in that gap. Boom. Now to the swaddle. You're gonna take a blanket and you are going to place it over your baby, but you want to specifically make sure that their arms are above the blanket. And you are going to tuck this blanket in the sides. And you are also going to tuck it at the bottom. So this is their swaddle. There is no way your baby is going to cover his face with this blanket because you cannot move this. There's so much force needed to move this blanket.
That hack was a game changer. I did that, and granted, the blanket part, that's if your baby doesn't like to be swaddled either. I actually did the blanket part for a bit too, but then I realized I didn't need to because my baby, I would do like a half swaddle. I would do it where his arms could be out and like more of his bottom part was swaddled. So, and I don't know about too much. I haven't researched. I know there's controversy in the whole swaddling thing. I understand why they say their arms should be in because of the startle reflex, and then you hear about how that's actually something that they need to be doing, so it's protective. But I just let my baby's arms be out, and he still does the swaddle. He still does the startle reflex a little here and there, but anyway, I incorporated the swaddle situation with that instead of the blanket. But the main game changer of all of that was the padding because he was more comfortable in there. So again, I did do co-sleeping when he was really tiny, and then as time progressed, I'd say even just maybe 3 weeks in, when he would fall asleep next to me, he would actually stay asleep when I transferred him into the bassinet with that whole padding situation because he was a lot more comfortable and I think he felt more safe. And again, he's still right next to me when he's in there. So that was a total game changer. And what I have done over time is he slept in that little situation for, I want to say maybe 2 months. And at 2 months, I started transitioning. And what's good about this too is there was a time where he was having a little more of a reflux issue, and I actually put in some wedge pillows so it was kind of tilted, so that helped him sleep, so you could make it work for whatever it is you're needing. So it was good because he was a little propped up, which helped him sleep better with his reflux. And then what I did over time is I removed the little padding thing, whatever that's called, a sleeper, whatever, and I just had thick blankets instead, so it was still squishy. So it was an in-between transition time, so it was still comfortable, still squishy, but not with that sleeper. And now, currently at 3 weeks, I have removed the squishy blankets, and it's just the pad in the bassinet, and he sleeps great. So at 3 months, we are still doing a combo of the bassinet and the bed. God bless my husband, he has been sleeping on the couch. So I will say, when you're co-sleeping, if you have as much room as possible, that makes it safe. And a lot of parents I know that have successful co-sleeping, the husband usually sleeps in another room or another bed. Maybe you just can have a ginormous king bed, I don't know, to make it work, but the baby is not supposed to be in between you and the parent because that could be one of the issues with it becoming dangerous. So God bless my husband, he's been sleeping on our couch. We actually have another bed, but it's like downstairs, and he says he doesn't want to be that far away. Just so we have another bed he could sleep in. He's just choosing to sleep on the couch because it's closer to us, which is very sweet. What was I saying? Oh, so it's a combination. So it's very nice because in the first part of the night, which he gets the longest stretch, he probably, for his last bit of, because obviously he's napping, and sometimes he even naps from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So by the time he goes to sleep, or nighttime sleep, it's usually between 10 and 11 o'clock. And then he usually sleeps till about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning is when I do the first feed. After that, he doesn't feed any time between then. He's sleeping. So I'm trying to sleep then too. So then usually that first long stretch of the night, he's in the bassinet, because I'll get into the whole routine in a bit. But once I get him to go to sleep, I put him in his bassinet and he sleeps for that long stretch, which is nice because I get to sleep any way I want in the bed, be comfortable and enjoy the bed to myself while he's in his bassinet. And then when he wakes up at 4 or 5 in the morning for the first feed, I actually just bring him into bed with me and I do the side laying breastfeeding position, and literally I'm half asleep while he's feeding and then we both fall back asleep in my bed. So that's what I mean by combo sleeper situation, because I'm just so tired. I don't want to wait for him to be done and then put him back in the bassinet. It's honestly a lazy mom thing in me. And again, we're both sleeping well and he falls asleep while feeding, so we're both gonna get more sleep. So usually that will happen around 4 or 5, and then he'll wake up again at 7:30, and again I just switch him to the other boob and he eats and drifts off to asleep again, and I just drift off to sleep again, and then we usually sleep till 9 o'clock together. It's been absolutely magical. There'll be days that we have slept till 11 o'clock together. It's fantastic. So I highly recommend a combo if you're breastfeeding. Gosh, breastfeeding is so hard, but it's got its perks. Side laying breastfeeding and just falling asleep with your baby is the best thing in the world, because babies love to fall asleep on the boob. And that's something also, I will die on this hill. I didn't even know this was a thing until I started seeing these videos about how you're not supposed to, and I don't know who says this, but they're like, you're not supposed to use feeding as a tool to sleep. No, I disagree. Like, God gave you that gift to help get that baby asleep, because it just doesn't make sense. There's a lot of part of the breastfeeding community that's against pacifiers, because they're like, your boob is your pacifier, but then they're telling you not to use breastfeeding as a tool for them to go to sleep. And it's like, but you just said that's a pacifier, and pacifiers help soothe babies and help them get to sleep. So why would you not use your breast and feeding to help them sleep? And how is that not going to be a tool in the middle of the night? It makes no sense to me. So anyways, I disagree with that. I use breastfeeding to get my baby to sleep. So anyways, I feel like I'm all over the place because at this point it's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been trying to make this video for like over a week, and also little bits throughout the day, and my baby's finally sleeping. Naps are a whole other situation at 3 months. Like, I don't know if it's because he sleeps so much at night, but he does get, and it's at 3 months. So I know that their naps become shorter, but I will say the napping thing, that game needs to be stronger, because sometimes he'll only like nap for like 20 minutes and it becomes really hard to get things done. But whatever. I'm sleeping during the night and he's sleeping a lot during the night. So that's a win. Sorry, I'm all over the map because I'm like trying to figure out what I want to say and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, okay. So something else that helped with keeping him asleep, obviously when they're newborns, you need to be doing the every 3 hours situation. I did wake up. That was a whole, obviously I didn't get as much sleep when he was first born because it's crucial that they're meeting weight and all of that stuff. So luckily we never struggled with that. He was born at 7 pounds, and his first visit at the doctor, he was, the next day, he got weighed and he was still 7 pounds, and that's great. He didn't even lose any weight. And then his first doctor's appointment, he was right on cue, 7 pounds. He never lost any weight from the time he was born, and then he just kept gaining it, and now he's a little chunk. Oh my God, he's getting heavy. But so anyways, I know that all is different for people depending on if your baby's losing weight or gaining it correctly. He just kept gaining it. So going forward, I stopped waking him up to feed him because he was gaining weight just perfectly. And so I would wait for him to wake up and then feed him on demand rather than waking him up purposely like before to feed him. Anyway, so with that said, currently I have found, and again, this is going to be different for everyone because everyone has their different beliefs and preferences and things like that. But what we do is nightly bottle feed. So throughout the day, all day is the boob. He gets 1 bottle a day, and that's at nighttime, and that's with his dad. One, because his dad, he was so excited to feed his baby. That's his little bonding time with him. He takes it very seriously and he loves it. He does it when he gets home from work, and it's nice. It's very cute. Scott puts on his little sports and they do their bottle together, and it's very nice. And for Mama, it's nice because I go and I take my shower for the night and I get ready for bed and I take my time, and it's my little me time. So it's nice. So he gets that bottle probably around 8 o'clock, and we try to do 4 to 5 ounces of breast milk. I've currently started incorporating a tiny bit of formula. So I'll do 2 ounces of breast milk, 2 ounces of formula, just to get him used to it for later on when I start going to the gym. I'm gonna do combo feeding, but primarily breast milk because that's important to me. So he's got a good amount of milk from the bottle, and then around 9:30 we'll get into bed and I will feed him from both sides on the boob as well. So he's nice and full before he drifts off to sleep, and I feel like that really helps with just, he doesn't wake up hungry. So he gets a nice amount, and then like I said, he'll wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning for his first feed, which is so nice. So I think that's really helpful. I don't know, so I feel like he's content. It's not like I'm forcing milk down him. I've seen something recently about knockout bottles, and they were saying, oh, that's not right, you shouldn't give your baby a bunch of milk knockout bottle, but I don't know if that would be even considered that, because what's a knockout bottle? I don't like, how much milk would that be? And honestly, my baby wants more milk, so it's not like, I don't know. I don't think that's what I'm doing because he seems very happy and content, and then sleeping. I don't know, but he sleeps and I sleep, and it's freaking fantastic. So that's that. And now that he's 3 months, I will say, again, with the swaddling, I never really did the arms in swaddle. Even with the blankets, he just didn't like that. He always wanted his little hands by his face. So even when I would wrap him with a blanket and did a blanket swaddle, I'd let his little arms be out, and it was primarily his legs. And even his legs, it was mostly just to have him in a safe little space. I didn't do it super tight, so he was never super stuck or contained. What I really like is, I'll link these swaddles below. I always find knockoff brands on Amazon because you're probably about this life too. I'm here to save money. I don't need brand name stuff to, if I can find a knockoff and have it cheaper, then that's what I'm gonna do. But I did these ones where it was like a zip up swaddle, and then their arms could be out, and he really liked those. And now I do one that's actually a knockoff of the Kite baby swaddle, and it's more of a sleep sack. That's what it is. It's a sleep sack. And he loves that. It's kind of like a transition. So it's got the arms cut off, so his arms are out, but then it's almost like a puffy little, almost like a zip up sleeping bag, it looks like. And it's so soft, and he loves it. He gets so excited when I put him in it. You could tell he's just so cozy. And so that's a really good transition if you're trying to get out of the swaddle. So I do that instead of the blanket, and then he's got his bassinet and then his little sleeper sack. And it's one tog, I don't know if that's right, but it has to do with how warm it is. So if your room's around 70 degrees, like that one tog, I think it's called, will do, but he loves that thing. So speaking of naps, our house is kind of small. It's a weird layout. It's a split level, and so our master, our living room, and our kitchen are all in one small space up top, and then downstairs are the other 2 bedrooms and another living area situation. And so a lot of the time he'll sleep on the couch. He'll take his naps on the couch because I'll be in the kitchen, or I'll be watching TV, or I've breastfed him and then I'll put him down because he falls asleep. There's an area that I safeguard, and that's his little sleeping situation. And then I'll set up my camera to face him if I'm bopping around in the kitchen or whatever, so I can see him. But I'll make sure that I shed all the shades, kind of dim it. That's actually why it's dim now, because he's taking a nap right here on the couch. And then on the TV, I'll just put on relaxing music, or I'll put ocean sounds on the TV, which we like to fall asleep at night too as well. And that works for him. Sometimes when he's being really fussy and doesn't want to sleep, if it's too bright out here, then I will go in our room and I'll put on the sleep ocean sounds on the TV, and I'll side lay and breastfeed him, let him fall asleep, and he'll sleep in our bed. He just loves our bed so much. I think it's just so comfortable to him. And then I'll move the camera in there and just have the camera on him while he's asleep on our bed. So that's what we've been doing for naps. I will say newborn sleep, it can be a little hard in the beginning because it's harder to get things done, but I did have to have more contact with him to get him to be comfortable to sleep. So if that's what you gotta do, that's what you gotta do. Their little nervous system isn't fully developed, and they're learning safety through you and that contact, and it makes them feel safe and calm and secure. And it just is helpful in the long run, because now he knows that I'm gonna always attend to him. He's such a calm little guy now, and I think it's just, if you give them what they need, they know that they can expect that from you, and it sets the tone for your relationship. So I know it could be really hard. It was hard for me. I was like, when am I supposed to get anything done? But I had to do a lot of baby wearing, and also just surrendering. Just being like, you know what, I don't need to get this done today. Life's different, and these moments are fleeting, and it's just kind of a mindset shift that you have to do. But it's definitely hard in the moment, but you just gotta change your mindset. Just surrender, try to enjoy it while you can, because you'll never get these days back. Something that I saw online and that I've been doing too, if it's too bright during the day, while I'm feeding him, because I call him my Curious George. He likes to just look around, and if it's too bright, I have these little, oh my gosh, what are they called? Burp cloths. While I'm feeding him, I'll just drape it over his eyes, and so it obviously darkens the room and he can't look around, and that helps him fall asleep too. So that's a good hack. I also want to I saw that they actually have something that's called the sleeper hat. And so it's the same concept as the hat that goes over, and it's almost like a sleep mask. I want to get that for him because I feel like that would be really good if you're out and about and you want them to take a nap. So I might look into that. I'll link that below. And then the last bit that's been really helping is he started teething already. And so I'm going to link these to some things that I've been using. Is the amber necklace. Now, pay close attention when I say the amber necklace. If you've heard about this, I can't say if it works 100%. The whole thing of it is this amber supposed to contain a certain acid that is absorbed through the skin and helps with inflammation. So it's supposed to help them through when they're teething. But listen to me when I say the baby should not go to sleep at night with that necklace. He naps in it because I'm awake and I can check and make sure that everything's tight on him. But you need to be extra aware if your baby is napping in it. And if you're not going to be aware and you know yourself and you're going to forget, then just stay away from this necklace situation. But while he's napping, I always make sure and I check to make sure it's not tight on him. And at nighttime when we go to bed, I take it off completely. He does not wear it while he is asleep because I'm asleep too and I can't check. So that is just something. But that is something that I am, like, he wears his little necklace. There's a lot of anecdotal evidence. People say, oh, it works amazing. Blah. I will say that he's teething and it's not the absolute worst. He's my first kid, but he's not screaming bloody murder, so it could be helping. Anyways, that's something I'm using. I'm also using these homeopathy drops, and I've actually tasted them. They don't taste like anything. They taste like water. It's kind of cute though to see him try to eat it. He doesn't know what to do with it, but I do think those help because anytime he's like super duper fussy, it's just like, you could tell he's just like irritated, I'll give him those drops and it makes him so calm. So it's supposed to help with the inflammation and the pain in the mouth, but it also sort of promotes calmness, so it helps relax him. So I'll link those. Those are awesome. And then also I got the essential oils. It's a little roller. Now I know there's like this really big brand that I always see on Instagram, I think called Thousand Roses or something. It's not that one. I found this on Amazon. And I like it because it has lavender, so it's also very relaxing. So I put that on his jaw, on both sides of his jaw, and then also on his feet. And the drops in the essential oils I do right before bed as well, just because it's very relaxing to him. If anything starts acting up in his mouth, then I have that all set. But that has been really helpful for the sleep situation, because even when he's getting extra fussy and I'm trying to get him to nap, I could tell he's tired, but his gums are bugging him. I'll just give him the homeopathy drops, and then I'll put the essential oils on his jaw, and it will actually help him fall asleep for his nap, because then he's not being bothered by the teething. So those tools have been absolutely great. And again, that's part of our nighttime routine right now, since he is struggling with that. So I'll do that right before I give him a boob. I'll put the essential oils on him, give him the homeopathy drops, and then put him in his little sleeper sack, and then I'll bring him into bed and feed him, do a side-lying feed with him, and then he drifts off to sleep. And once he's asleep, I transfer him to his bassinet. So I'll obviously do an update to this video as time progresses. I know that they say there's regressions and things like that, and so when that happens, I will figure it out and update you on that. But I hope this is encouraging. I hope any of this information has been helpful to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them down in the comments below. I would love to answer anything you might be curious about or want to know more about. But I'm definitely pro co-sleeping, definitely pro using the boob to get them to sleep. I'm pro homeopathy, essential oils, natural stuff, because like I said, I was so scared. That was the one thing that I was so scared about having a baby, because I absolutely love to sleep. I love sleeping's one of my favorite things. I love it, and I really value my sleep, and I really try to protect it. And I try to, even before the baby, my husband could tell, he calls me a vampire because I dim all the lights in the house. I have my Himalayan salt bulbs, I take my magnesium, I take my warm shower. I do everything to set myself up for good sleep. And so when everyone was like, you'll never sleep again once you have kids, I was like, that sounds awful. But it's not been true for me. I've loved being a mom. I've gotten sleep. My baby is awesome. And I want to share that, because I just feel like people try to crap on being a parent. And it made me scared to be a mom. And I've been so pleasantly surprised. Again, I've been getting, on average, 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep. The other day I got 8.5 hours of sleep. On a rocky night where maybe he's struggling a little more, I still get probably 6.5 hours of sleep. So it's a lot more than I've heard some parents get. So I'm just saying, you don't have to be scared. Where there's a will, there's a way, and you can figure it out. You got this. Solidarity. Let's all help each other. And if you guys have any more sleep tips, please help a new mom out. I would love to hear them. Let's start a thread below for everybody, because I think we're here to help each other. That's what we're here for. Right. So anyways, love you guys. If you like this content, please let me know. Give me a subscribe to my channel. It's free. It just helps me grow my channel. It is new. It's been a slow grind. My baby's asleep now. Perfect timing. Love you. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.